ever heard of this show called The Loud House? It is a series where the middle child, Lincoln Loud, had to survive the family of 10 sisters. Yeah, that show. Well, what have I told you? I found an unreleased dark episode. Well, it happens to me a few days ago before writing this. It's a bit long. It's a bit a long story. I was surfing to the web and came across this website that's such media known as Digital Fossils. It was a website carried the strange, lost pieces of media that were either cell phone security footage, images, delays in the movies, and I had an interesting or strange lost pieces of media. I was so curious enough to check out this website. The links were older as possible, and then followed by uppercase word or short phrase with few numbers. These words or phrases were sometimes nonsense and relatable to the website entry, and sometimes they made sense. For example, fossil, dog, 807, fossil, help, 9482, and fossil, don't look, 3770. Some of the entries of the website are slightly disturbing. For example, according to the cat playing a dead bird, or a news report of the child go missing on the abandoned playground. I don't know how the website recovered these pieces of lost media, but I have almost everything that it could get its hands on. However, I stay silent about that. I didn't work on the website anyway. However, I scrolled down and seeing some entries, I found something caught my eye. Fossil, loud 11. It was rather interesting. It had a word and reminded me for ones from earlier that read my eyes, but it had 11 after all. It reminded me of Lincoln Loud, the same 11-year-old boy from the show I just talked about earlier. I clicked the link and saw the description of the description is said the following: the last episode of The Loud House, which is how enough is enough, which meant a series finale of third season, but scrapped after production is done. Chris, while planning another season 3 finale at the moment. However, this replacement is reasonable. This episode was being too disturbing and dark for the series. If you're a fan of The Loud House, we must tell you that is no joke. Viewer discretion is advised. I was curious. I wondered why would this be for a show like The Loud House to have an episode like this. So after I downloaded, I started the episode. When the episode started, the usual intro played. Nothing was wrong so far. However, at the end, nobody went to the couch to watch the TV. It didn't add that they were there as well. So Lily's poo-poo wasn't present. Another thing was wrong. That was any logo was tainted with the color pastel red instead of orange. The website's not joking around. There was definitely something wrong with this episode. The title card had a black background with a fog flowing across on the left side in it, which is centered saying enough's enough, with bottom bubbles below showed who made the episode as well, which the same as the first 2 seasons. The music is low, rumbling noise with little embedding, which something that you may hear in a horror game. The episode began with the outside of the house, as sometimes did. The music, it was absent, like in the beginning of The Brawl in the Family. It cut to Lincoln watching the television instead of playing video games like he usually. He was just chilling. Don't you just hate living with 10 sisters? Well, sometimes I do, he said. I saw a smile turn upside down. But on permissions, I got a little too far. I wish they were leave me alone. I can't hurt them. They're my siblings. I want to live on them. But the things they are do like sit back from me. Lincoln here sounded like more serious than normal. Hey bro, Luann says the main antagonized as she appeared next to Lincoln in the next shot. What's Platypus say before leaving the bar? Put on my bill. Lincoln frowned as she laughed. Yes, Luann, pretty fun. Do you want to smell my flower? I'm not falling for. Luann's flower sprayed water on Lincoln's face before he could finish what he was saying. Okay, Luann, that's... Do you want some banana cream pie? Luann said before summon on Lincoln's face. I wonder, this description of the upset was too dark. Luann was making so many jokes at me. It made this episode more stupid and graphic. Lincoln, her satisfaction. Stop, Luann, you're not funny. What do you want? What do you call a boy with a completely flower boy? Luann laughed a little bit, but one shot later, Lincoln slid his face up and revealed his angry eye. Enough is enough, Lincoln said furiously as grabbed Luann by her shoulders. Whoa, nice grip, bro. You shoulder work at the gym. Luann laughed at her little jokes. Then something happened. It took me back to shot of Lincoln. It felt as if I was hit by a train. Just after Luann laughed at her joke, Lincoln slammed her head against the wall and bruising her, knocking her out. A low amplitude played in the background. Lincoln gasped and stared in the crack in Luann's head and looked at her, then her bruised in her body. He looked at his hands in fear. What I've done? I've never done something like this before. He looked at Luann. But this made me still so alive. For some reason, I've never felt so good for a while. I just know what to do. It cut to black for 3 seconds. Transformation to Lori texting on her phone, possibly to Bobby. Hey, Lori, can you drive me to a comic store? Just do it yourself or get your mom. Lincoln. Lori left the room and I assumed she was going to the bathroom. And Lincoln looked on her phone, which she left instead and glared and planned next to his wipe out. One shot later, Lori was seen walking to her room, and when Lincoln let go of my phone, right, Lori was hit by the head by her phone as it broke to shatter the glass. Lincoln walked over to her body. This is for smashing. She looked down at her. This is for smashing my PCPR council. Teenager brat, Lincoln said with a silent anger as it cuts to Lori's blacklist body. Her phone was shattered with the bits of glass across her face, being cut across some places. She was bleeding. Across her face, on where she was cut, I was shocked to see the middle child goes on a killing spree like this. Why this was made? I thought to myself. I cut to black yet again. To change the different scene, we're taking a backyard. Hey, Lincoln, want to wrestle? Sure. Why not, Len? I bet I win this time. I knew this was going to be no wrestling match, but I kept watching to see what I could do. As Lincoln wrestling with Len, he got behind her, and shortly after, close up to Len's eye, Come on, me, bro. Lynn, Casa was a cut short, and when she was winding her eyes, she gagged. I knew something went wrong. The dark tune grew louder and cut away to close up to Lincoln choking his 13-year-old sister from behind. Not only that, the animation quality changed to a style familiar to the King of the Hill. It looked very shocking that it didn't look like cartoony as before. I watched Lynn scream her brother's hands and break free and useless. It was useless to her to escape. It cuts to Lynn's point of view. She was turned around and face to face with Lincoln. I felt this is when I felt like I'm going to faint. My Lincoln's face felt like menacing, cold, and possessed at this point. His eyes were bloodshot, and pupils was getting larger. His skin getting a bit darker. The animation at this point went back to normal style, but his face is still highly detailed. Lincoln's pupils is reflection of his choking sister Lynn. His sister Lynn. I was shocked and horror at her vision blurry. I don't know, her eyelids and open and close at this point. By this time, she closed her eyes. She's finished. It was over for her, and the gloomy music stopped. The next shot went to Lincoln sitting in the dark with Lynn's body next to him. Hello, too. Like Lincoln looked at his sibling's body. Pleasure on his face for 30 seconds. He spoke. Sleep tight, Lynn. You're free. I got chill. Son, the words Lincoln had snapped. And he no longer ran the plan. He was a corrupt soul who was next to the X. He wondered himself, and he looked up, and with a planning smile, he thought to team him. Film the video come to black and white. Lincoln pulled Lenny closer to pair of scissors on his hand. He glared at Lona, the big bat in his hand. He was seen smashing Luna's guitar in the face and about to set Luz on fire. It cuts to black afterwards. And the white mounted 1 week later, faded to after 5 seconds. It was clear. A week passed. It was night time again, and I was made of. Lincoln was staring now. Was with now dead sisters in his bed. And then Big Lily showed his small toy, and Lola was cut in multiple times. I'm not going to impress my sisters, though. My job is done. All I need is one more, but who is it? He looked, looking around. Yes, it must be me. There's something I can do. Lincoln looked down, and I cut to black to 10 seconds. Now, Lincoln was now seen hanging from the ceiling. His camera turned back against the camera. I felt wild. All his siblings are dead because Lincoln has snapped. He built up for this moment. Lincoln has to kill himself and join his sisters. Well, not all of his sisters. Just after silent 12 seconds, Luann slowly got out of Lincoln's bed and panted heavily. That's a relief that she didn't die. Like I said earlier, she was knocked out, not dead. Her wounds were still present. She's a bit pale, but more blood on her face. She looked at Lincoln and back at her stepsisters for now lifeless corpses. That's no joke. Luann says as she witnessed her first mass murder that stood what happened in the camera on the life and an ending credit. The credits were early and the Jim had the same plot as the movie on the left.